What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jxstcheesefromyoutube, and I'm coming at y'all with a tutorial. What? A tutorial? Yeah, it's some party handles. Make sure you put on Tight Handles Hall of Fame, because that's one of the most badges. That's the badge needed for park handles. And you're gonna throw these six on. I mean, I just put on Pro 2 because it's like wider and it can help. But this year, I'm gonna try to step out of my comfort zone and do things I don't normally do, like tutorials. Like, I hate doing tutorials. Like, me explaining is like so weird. Like, I tried to do a tutorial like last year and it didn't do so well. Like, it did well, but like you couldn't really understand anything like I said. And then another problem is, like, I stutter, so like I gotta go through this like 40 times just to make sure it sounds somewhat decent. Like, I don't know. But you want to hit up your Montcore and you want to invite somebody like an AI to it. I would say a regular person, but I mean, it really doesn't matter. But sometimes when you do it with a regular person, it start acting weird. But like, yeah, like you see with park handles, like I can just keep going with my combo. I don't have to stop to do a move. I can just keep going, and then the combo just flows very well. That's why I've always liked park handles. Another thing with park handles is the animations are at complete random. So like, you don't know what you're gonna get. You just have to pray and hope you get the good ones. And even when you get the bad animations, like the whoopty, it's still stuff to do out of it. And it still looks really clean, but like the main two are like the best ones. And without further ado, here we go. Alright, so for this first move, I'll call it like the glitch wiggle, because it's like, it looks glitchy and it's a wiggle. I don't really call it a stutter start like everybody else calls it. I'm calling it a wiggle because that's what I'm used to hearing it and seeing it from 20. And this is why I said you need Park 14, because without it, you can't do it. I don't know if you can do it with Park 3, but you need to be able to do the Park 14 size up with tight handles, which just tap L2, and you gotta learn how to wiggle. And the way you wiggle is you have to start from like a curry slide or something that's like already making you move. You can't do it from a standstill animation, but when the ball's in your left hand, you move your right stick to the right and then to the left. It's like an inward outward motion. If you don't do it correctly, your player's gonna switch hands and speed boost to the other side. So you have to do it right before you speed boost. If not, then you're not gonna get the wiggle animation. Timing for this move is kind of hard because I don't get the move every time. Sometimes I get like, I don't get the glitch. It's just like I just wiggle out of the parking move. But I would say for the best timing, wait until he puts it like under his leg, or like just wait a second and then do it. You might not get it every time, because I still don't get it every time, and I'm the one who found it. And once you wiggle, you can hit any move and move out of it, a crossover, a spin. I mean, it's just limitless. All these moves started with a park size up. They're like moves to start your combo out with, and they look really good and glitchy. Like, it's just something to start. It's just something else to start with besides just a wiggle spin or stutter start, whatever you want to call it. All right, so at the ball in your left hand, and you're at a complete standstill animation. You want to tap L2 and then hold R2 and just sprint backwards. And if the ball is in your right hand, you just do the exact same thing. If you want the backwards half spin from the right hand, you can do it from 12 to 3 or 4 to 6. Cause I do it from 4 to 6, but like, if you've been doing it since 19, you probably do it from 12 to 3. And if the ball is in your left hand, you do it from 12 to 9 or 8 to 6. All right, so one more time. If you're standing completely still with the ball in your left hand, you tap L2 and you run backwards, and you have your right stick pointing like diagonally down left, and the ball's gonna end up in your right hand, so you need to get the backwards half spin. And to get the backwards half spin from that angle, you want to rotate your right stick from 12 to 3 or 4 to 6. And if the ball's in your right hand, you sprint backwards diagonally down right, and to get the backwards half spin, you rotate your right stick from 12 to 9 or 8 to 6. And it's a pretty solid move. You can do it from starting a combo. You can do it from a double cross. It just looks pretty clean to me. I got this move from Percent and BD. Shout out to them. Their links will be in the description. So the way you do this move is you do a moonwalk from last year. And then as soon as you like turn around, you click in L3 and you point your left stick up. That's how most people do it. I don't like doing it this way off the moonwalk. I normally get it off the long cross behind. Cause like this way to me looks so clean. And I normally get the move off of a long cross behind, a fake 18, or the backwards half spin. I don't know. I just don't like the way off the moonwalk. Like, it looks good off the moonwalk. It's just not my personal way to do it. One more time, the way I do it, you do a moonwalk or a long cross behind or a fake 18 or a backwards half spin. As soon as your player turns a certain way, you click in your left stick and you point it in like an upwards motion and you keep it that way. You can move it around if you want to. And when you move it around, you can get a park animation. But like, you see how your player's back is turned and he's like kind of tilted? That's when you want to click in your left stick. And this is my boy Cloud's move. I'm going to put his link in the description. Shout out to my boy Cloud. And yeah. Alright, so we starting off with my favorite park handle cancel of all time, the one with the Shamgod. This is my favorite one. This is one I've been doing since like patch 1 when you can know what you're doing. But now it's at random, so I don't get it every single time. I don't get the same animation every single time. I just get a random one. Okay, so first things first, the way I do my cancels is I hold L2 before it and then I let it go. I don't know why I've been doing that. It's just been working for me. But what you want to do is you want to click in your left stick and you want to tap L2 and then you want to do a hezzy cross to the left side. And the way you do a hezzy cross on the left side is you flick your left stick to the left like 9 o'clock and then flick it up. This is 12 o'clock. And if the ball's in your right hand, you flick it to like 3 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And before your player like starts to spin to the other hand, that's when you tap L2 or let go of L2. Depends on how you do your cancels. And then that's when you do your hezzy cross. I mean, it's a pretty simple move. Just like Shamgod, you got to be careful with Shamgods. I've always liked doing Shamgods, but like once you like start doing them, you got to learn that like you can't do them too close to your defender or you'll get ripped. And that's the first park handle cancel, and yeah. Alright, so the way you do this park handle move is you get the same animation, and then if the ball's in your left hand, you flick it to the left and then down. And if it's in the right hand, you flick it to the right and down. And this move, you don't have to be cautious. You can just hit it anywhere. But like, if people are pressing you and you're above the half court line, then you can't get up behind the back if someone's pressing you really high with this move. But if you're behind half court, you can get a behind the back almost any time with this move. I'm sorry, I wish I had a controller cam so I could follow that, but I don't have an Elgato, so I'm sorry about that. This move is just like long between the legs. Sometimes I get it, and then sometimes I get a Shamgod. It just depends on how you flick your stick. To me, this move just looks so fire in clips. The way you want to do this move is you want to do a hezzy, and then the way you do the hezzy is you flick it to the left if the ball's in your left hand, and then you do it between the legs, which is top right. And then for the right hand, you do a hezzy, which is 3 o'clock, and then you do between the legs, which is top left, which is about 10, 11 o'clock. Don't go 12 o'clock because it'll make you do a Shamgod. So the way you get this one, if you get this certain animation, if the ball's in your left hand, you tap L2, hold L2, let it go. Depends on how you do it. And then you flick it bottom right, which is about 5 o'clock, and then flick it up. I'd say about 11 o'clock again, so you can get the nutmeg animation. And if the ball's in your right hand, you flick it bottom left to top right. I wouldn't recommend flicking it up because like the animation is iffy to me. I don't know why it is. It works for some people, it just doesn't work for me whenever I try to go for a nutmeg. But alright, so with the ball in your left hand, you want to click in your left stick and get the animation right before he spins. You point your right stick bottom right and then top left to get the nutmeg animation. And if the ball's in the right hand, wait till you get the spin and you do it from bottom left to top right. It's the same process. You're just flipping the controls, and yeah, that's the move. The way you get this move is with that same park handle, but with the ball in your right hand. I do this one most of my right hand because it feels more comfortable to me. But you do it with the ball in your right hand. You tap L2 or let go of L2, however you do your cancels, and you flick it bottom left to bottom right. You have to do it really fast. If not, you're gonna get a behind the back and then possibly another behind the back. I'm gonna show one last move of that. It's more moves, but I mean, I've pretty much explained most of them as the best I can to my ability. So I mean, I pretty much think y'all can get the rest. This is the last move I'm gonna show with this park handle. This one is just you click in the left stick and you do a hezzy and then you just do a wiggle. And that's really it for that move. If you don't remember how to wiggle again, it's inward and outward motion. And so like fake like you're gonna speed boost, and then like before you get the speed boost, put your stick back to the left. And then it's the same way if the ball's in your right hand. You put your stick to the left, and then like before you speed boost, move your stick back to the right in the inward and outward motion. Alright, so with this party move, it's just a whoop-dee. I mean, it's not really much to do out of it. You can either do it behind the back, or if you mess up, you're gonna get another whoop-dee, or you can just stop the animation and just do a spin. So if the ball's in your right hand and you get the little whoop-dee animation, you just tap L2 or hold L2, however you do it, and then just do them behind the back. And the way you do it behind the back is you point your right stick diagonally left, and then point your right stick diagonally left. Then the way you get the one off the spin is you just move a little bit to the left or right and then spin. If you move your stick to the right when the ball's in your right hand, you do the whoop-dee. You spin it from above the 6. And if the ball's in your left hand, move your left stick to the left. I would say most likely top left, and then spin it from 12 to 6 counterclockwise. So the one with this one, it's just like the whoop-dee. You can only do like a couple moves out of it. With this move, you can do a behind the back, a nutmeg, a double behind the back, and you can also do like a Shamgod and like a cross behind with it too. But I mean, that's really it. I mean, all those moves I've already explained. But so when you do the move, it's gonna, if you get the right animation, it's gonna, if you start with the ball in your left hand, it's gonna end up transitioning to your right hand. And so when the ball's in your right hand, you just want to do a behind the back, which is just, if the ball's in your right hand, you flick your left stick bottom left. And if the ball transitions to your left hand, you flick it bottom right to get it behind the back. So again, with this move, you start the ball in your left hand, and whenever he gets on the floor, you tap L2 and the ball's gonna transition to your right hand, and then you flick it from bottom left, top right to get the nutmeg. That's the most cleanest way to me. You can also do the double behind the back or a regular behind the back. But to me, the nutmeg looks the cleanest. And if the ball's in your right hand, the ball's gonna transition to your left hand. So from bottom left to top right, and yeah. Okay, so the way you do this move, you start out with the ball in your right hand, and then as soon as he gets on the floor or about to get on the floor, you do a hezzy cross to the left because the ball's in your left hand. So it would be, you flick it first at 6 o'clock, and then you flick your stick to 12 o'clock. And if the ball ends up in your right hand, you flick your right stick to 3 o'clock, and then you flick it at 12 o'clock, and you have to do it very quickly. Basically, I've broken down most of every single part move there is so far. There still are some more that I didn't cover, but those are like the most ones that I use. There's still some more that I put in there. It's still some more. It's still a lot more. You know, just be creative. I want y'all to be creative. I don't want to see the same couple clips, the same couple moves in every single clip. I want to see y'all mix it up. And yeah, that's basically the tutorial. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. If y'all need help with any move, just DM me on Twitter or leave a comment in the comment section. My Twitter will be in the description.
Thank you.
And yeah, hope y'all have a blessed day. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this with everybody you know. We are on our grind to 4K. I will probably be posting next gen videos soon. Most likely a couple of mixtape tunes, maybe another tutorial. I'll definitely got you with some stage gameplay. And I'll catch y'all later. Hope you have a great day.
Alright, now watch this, bro. Think watch this.